Hi everyone, this is Sam Denson from EBC Smyrna with our second look about God's law. One big question remains. What's the big point of the law? To simplify the answer, let's compare the purpose of God's law to three things: a stoplight, a mirror, and a spotlight. A stoplight. The purpose of a stoplight is simple. It helps traffic flow smoothly and keeps people from having accidents. Imagine if everyone sped through red lights or screeched to a halt when the light was green. It would be chaos. Similarly, God's law shows people how to live together peacefully. A mirror. Here's the tough truth about God's law. Only one person in history has ever kept it perfectly, and that's Jesus. From the beginning, God knew that this would be true, which is why he created the sacrificial system. When someone failed to follow a part of the law, he could make a sacrifice to show that he had done something wrong and was sorry for it. Then God would immediately forgive him of his sin. In this way, the law also serves as a mirror, showing us how we've disobeyed God so that we can turn from our sins and ask God for forgiveness. How about a spotlight? Finally, the law is God's way of showing that his people are different from others. The world needs to know what it looks like to live in relationship with him, with God. And the law helps us live in a way that shows God's character. Christ followers are like the first skydiver in a group. By following the rules, they help everyone else see why they should trust the instructor. As a spotlight, the law shows God's goodness to the rest of the world. Does comparing the law to a stoplight, a mirror, and a spotlight make you feel different about God's rules for his people? If so, how? How do God's instructions affect our relationships with him? What happens when we sin or don't follow God's instructions? What role does forgiveness play in God's law? That's our second look. Remember that God's law helps us see his character and his grace. This is a difficult time for some of us. To get through each day, I remind myself that God is so good that he causes my struggles to turn out for my good. And I read Romans 8:28 to remind me of that truth. I encourage you to look to God and his promises too. Join us on Saturdays at 11 a.m. for our gatherings. Be blessed.